Well, hello and welcome to the closing ceremony of these games. Have you all had a great week? Let's try that again in Facebook. Have you all had a great week? So that voice was more like your sports that you've performed this week and the achievements that you've made with your medals, with the social interaction, with having fun and demonstrating the true gift of life that you all have. So we're very grateful you've all come to Oxford. We hope you've enjoyed your week here with the range of things that we put on. We've tried to give you a flavour of British history, English history, and also some of the sporting facilities, what it's like to be a public schoolboy maybe, sharing toilets and sharing showers. So we hope you've had fun. We're now going to show you a short film of the highlights of these games, and after that I will pass over to the ETDSF, I get that wrong if I'm not careful, Judith, who will talk to you about the presidency and about their experience of these games as well. So, a short film is coming up any minute. Oxford European Transmanadalis Games officially open.
Over at the darts, we spoke to Jordan, who is representing Great Britain at the Games.
So my name is Jordan Priest. This is my first ever Transplant Games. I am on dialysis myself. I've been on it for about 4 months now. So mixed emotions, trying to get into things. Some days are bad days, some days are good days. But being here is amazing. I got into it because one of the people at the hospital, they bring you into little things, little days out and stuff. And he said, now you're on dialysis, you can compete in these games. And do you know what? It's going to be amazing. So yeah, I live locally as well, so it's handy for me that I can pop in, pop out. Today I'm obviously, as you can see, doing the darts. And then on the Wednesday, I go to London Palace and compete in a different sports then.
Meanwhile, at the Kassam Stadium, our athletes were taking part in the 10-pin bowling singles. also saw athletes preparing for the swimming event which begins tomorrow morning. First thing, many athletes plunged into the pool to take part in the swimming heats. As the sun set, we joined the athletes at Blenheim Palace for the 5-kilometre run. Up next was volleyball at the White Horse Tennis Centre.
to acknowledge our technician that we've flown in specially from Australia to help us here on stage. Thank you very much, Chris. If you were to look at that video and use one word to describe it, I think memories. We came here to Oxford and we made memories. We made friendships and we made happiness. But to make all of that happen, it takes a lot of work and a lot of people. A lot of kindness, a lot of thoughtfulness, and a lot of people going above and beyond to say, yes, we want to make a difference. We believe in what you are coming here to achieve, and we want to be a part of that dream. So now we want to take the opportunity to acknowledge the local organising committee, to take note of all the different people who we may not have seen their faces, but we have felt the impact of their input. We have had our catering people. For those of us who stayed here in Radley, the food has been fantastic. The staff in there have been so friendly, so welcoming. Radley overall, what great facilities. What a warm welcome that they've given us. And they've been so good and so generous in what they have offered to the Federation, to the hosts transplant sport. It's really been a great example of how nice people can be, but also the impact that you guys have. They believe in your dream, the dream of these competitions, the dream of promoting organ donation, the dream of promoting good health. They say, we want part of this, we want to support this. And we just want to take a brief moment now to celebrate each of the individuals of the local organising committee who have made all of our dreams happen. These are the people who have put in tireless hours to make a difference for the rest of us. Firstly, is Andrew Ashton in the audience? Andrew?
No.
Right, I'd like to say that was a great start. But no, Andrew did a lot of work behind the scenes. I met Andrew on Zoom, as many of the people we've all met in the last 2.5 years. It's, hey, I've seen you on Zoom. I know what you look like from here to here, but you're much taller than I thought. But Andrew, we will acknowledge and say thank you to Andrew. The plaquette will get onto him. And we have an official name here called David James, but I think many games, we all know transport is so important, and it's so important that we get it right, and it makes it so much easier if there's a friendly face behind it. And so big thank you to Transport Dave. Now, speaking of friendly faces, Les Newell. Next up, we need to acknowledge the medical people, the people who are here to keep us safe, the people we never want to see, but the people we want to know that they're there. So if Dr. Matthew Brook is here. Next up is a face that many of us know and have known for many, many years at World Games, at European Championships, those who go to the British Games. Alison and her team make such a difference. She does the British Games, she's just done the Children's Games, and then came directly to come and help us out this week, inspiring. And not only is it delivering a service, but delivering an education to the new physiotherapists and bringing them on to have the experience here to grow from it as well. So, well done, Alison. I think we can say our next person represents a role that each and every transplant recipient holds so close to their heart. That role of transplant nurse specialist. That person who's there in the times of fear, who's there to celebrate, who's there to support always. So Alison Smith, as our head transplant nurse specialist, to you in the room. What I can say about the next person, Oliver the Printable. The next person is known to everybody, not just the British team, known to all for so many years. The unselfless dedication to the promotion of organ donation and transplantation, of healthy life post-transplant, who has given so much of her time, her heart, her passion. Lynn Holt. The audience, you're fantastic. Now, the man behind everything, the man who, every time I asked a question, somebody said to me, oh, he'll know the answer. You won't have it written down, but he'll know it in his head. You'll ask him something, and he'll remember, and he'll come back. So you have to be careful what you say to this man, because he will remember it. But again, a face familiar to us all, a man who has a great passion about promoting transplant sport and good physical health, particularly amongst our young people, who would like to call to the stage Chairman of the local organising committee, Dr. Paul Harden. Yeah. We're down to 4 people. Now, we know these 4 people are not in the room. If you have snuck into the room, do put your hand up, but as far as we know, you're not here. But we do want to acknowledge them. We have the Operations Director of Blenheim Palace, Heather Carter. I think those who went out to Blenheim will agree, what a venue. When you come to a transplant and dialysis championships, there's so many different sports. We all know there's so many different categories. We will work on that. But it's to get all the pieces to join together. It's to get all the officials. It's to get all the venues together. It's to make sure all the different moving parts are working together. So we want to acknowledge John Timms as MLS Sports. Right, and next up, can't deliver an event if you can't manage the money. So we'd like to acknowledge Sue Burton as the financial controller. And the person who moves all those numbers around, and hopefully we don't see too many numbers in red when we do the final accounts, we'd like to acknowledge the games accountant, Gregory Henschel. Give you the 2022 European Transplant and Dialysis Sports Championships Local Organising Committee. Right, next up, I'm sure there's some people who are wondering who got the best athlete? Who got the best athlete in male, in female, in transplant category, dialysis category? Just on a very brief personal note, one of the greatest moments in the last number of years for me was 4 years ago when we were all gathered in Cagliari, and I was on the stage and Teemu announced the winner of the women's dialysis category. It was my wife. And as a family member, I can tell you just how joyful it is to be here to celebrate with our athletes. It's important to us, it's of value to us as well as to you. So I'm going to pass it over to Teemu, who's going to reveal the news.
It's been a pleasure watching you athletes do your thing. You are inspiring people, and it's hard to pick up just a few of you to recognize here, but this is how it goes. The dialysis category, Best Female, has won medals in bowling and table tennis. She comes from Greece, and bear with me with the name, sorry. Paraskevi Vakikaku. This athlete has won multiple medals in swimming and in petanque. He comes from Hungary, and he is Shaba Karastas. So we move on to the transplant category, Best Female Athlete. She won medals in golf, petanque, athletics, and so on. She is from Ireland, and her name is Mary O'Connor. The last person to be awarded here is the transplant male category, and an exceptional athlete, as all of the others are, representing the youngest category that we have here, the 18 to 29, has won medals in running events and in jumps. Comes from Poland. His name is Konrad Haraszymowicz. awarded. The teams will be handed a certificate during the gala dinner. And if I call your team's name, I want to hear some noise, please. Third place, winning, I have to check this, 16 golds, 14 silvers, and 7 bronze medals. Poland. The second place with 37 golds, 36 silvers, and 38 bronze medals. Hungary. First place, winning 99 gold medals, 78 silver medals, and 77 bronze medals. Team Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Get off the stage. Right, now it's Judith's turn.
As you know, the European Federation working with the Presidential Committee, who are very motivated and really hard workers. And now there was election, this General Assembly on Thursday, and I would like to say thank you those Presidential Committee members who are outgoing now from the Federation. So, not finally, but I will announce later the new members. Lynn Holt is a Presidential Committee member for many years and really a great help for us in medical questions and helps a lot in the communication. Thank you very much, Lynn, for your 4 years work in the European Federation. And the 2 other guys are in the stage. Timo Lapossu, the Presidential Committee member, who is really a hard worker and a sports coordinator in the Federation. And I can say that, so he is really professional in his job. He proved it in Monta in 2016, and since then he's working with us. Thank you, Timo, for your hard work. And the secretary of the Federation, Colin White, he is the man who is always available and always ready to help in any question. So thank you, Colin, for your work. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do this job for many years. And as I told you, there was election this year. And after 21 years of presidency, I will be retired. I think it was a long time when we established the Federation in 2001, and we organized almost 12 games. Unfortunately, Dublin was cancelled because of COVID. But we did the preparation with the organizing committee, but 11 games have have happened, and I hope it was a joy for everybody, and you have lots of memories. I enjoy the work together with the committee members, with the local organizing committee members. I met lots of wonderful people, and it was a part of my life, and the European Federation will stay in my life forever, in my heart forever. But I think it's time to give the floor to the younger ones. So we have election this year, and the new president of the European Federation is Colin White. Luckily, 2 other members stayed in the committee. Teemu and Lynn are still members in the federation, so they will serve 4 more years. And I would like to call to the stage the two new members, who I hope will give a for the European Federation. Traditionally, I wanted somebody from Hungary, so Alexandra Gyurko is a young, very motivated lady, a liver transplant for 26 years. And the second new member is Peter Krenkel from Germany. He is not really new because earlier he served the Federation. Second kidney, luckily, and I'm very happy that he was elected as the presidential committee member. I'm sure the European Federation is in good hands, and it will develop a lot. The child grow up. I think it's time to let to go to a new way. And now. Not just symbolically, but here is a real reason. I would like to pass it to the new president of the European Federation. Perhaps it's too far for you, but in this side there is the old logo of the Federation, but Colin started to work very hard to develop the Federation, and after 20 years it's time to invest a new logo. And this is the old logo of the baton, and this is the new one. So I would like to pass it to the new president of the European Federation.
How do you follow what Judith has brought to the Federation? It's countless hours of the planning, the original meetings. Those of us who were at the General Assembly, we saw the photos of the people who were involved in the early days, the people who gave birth to the dream, and you guys are carrying that dream forward, and together we're moving to the future. But I've learned so much from this lady. In 2005, I became the manager of the Irish team, went to Canada for my first transplant games, the World Transplant Games, and I was a novice, hadn't been an international team manager before, but I looked around to see who were the movers, who were the shakers, who were the influencers, who were the people who had it here when it came to transplant sport. Very quickly spotted this lady. And then when we came to the European Championships in 2006, they were in Page in Hungary, and it was a fantastic event. And it was my introduction to the European community, the fact that people on dialysis, it's important that we give them the motivation to be physically active, to engage in sport, to be part of a community, to be part of a broader message that we broadcast out across Europe. We've seen it this week. The media coverage has been great. Social media, you guys are fabulous. All the different posts about celebrating the medals, what it means to you. I mentioned at the General Assembly, I had seen Amelie from Romania, that she had posted about, it's the greatest prescription for happiness, for joy. Go to the European Transplant and Dialysis Games, go to your national games, go to the World Transplant Games, build yourself up, enjoy life, celebrate life, be that role model for other people. Perfect example here beside me. Not only does she lead from the front in the games, delivering the 1999 World Transplant Games, doing the 2006 Games in Page as well, but she's a participant. She actively participates in swimming. I remember we were doing a site inspection for one Games, and it was so important that we had to organise an opportunity to swim before we started the meetings. And I got in the water too, and I said, sure, I'll give this a go. I was up and down, and this one here was up and down and up and down and up and down. And I got tired just watching her. But it's not just the swimming, it's the Winter Games as well. She's everywhere. If you follow the Hungarian team on social media, when does this lady sleep? She's all the time promoting the message, putting it out there, sharing with people what all of you have been doing this week. But she's been showing us by example in the European Federation for over 20 years. So I'd just like a small token of our appreciation, and I'd like you all to very much lift the roof and say thank you to this lady here. So we've acknowledged the local organising committee. We have acknowledged the people in the federation. There's a lot of people sitting amongst you that it's very important that we acknowledge them too. Generally all volunteers who give of their time to help make sure that you get here, the right time, the right place, you're registered for the right events. You have filled your medical in completely. Remember those blood pressure results, they have to be included. You can't ignore them. And so we would like to acknowledge our team managers. We just had a small gift, which is a team manager polo shirt, which has the new logo. So we had hoped to have it up on the screen, but technical problems have won out today. But if you want to see what the new logo looks like, go and look at your team manager's new polo shirt. They'll have the new logo. It's just a little bit more colourful, and it's just, let's kind of step forward and see what we can do. So if we can call all team managers, one team manager per country, to the stage. If you come over this side, in alphabetical order. So Andorra, Mari, are you here? You're going to be first. And what I would like you to do is, see the wonderful gentleman over here, Temu? You will get your bag, you will shuffle your way across the stage, waving and making acknowledgement to the crowd, and we will have a line of all the team managers here in front, and then we can take a photo, we can cheer, and we can tell them how much we appreciate it. So team managers, if you could come to stage left, so you're right. As you look at these people joining us here on stage, there's faces that we've seen for many, many years, and there's new faces as well. Like, it's great to see that we have new people coming through, and we can look forward to a pretty wonderful future together. What a handsome lot. Don't they scrub up well? Yes. The Italy bag. Ah. Oh, the Italian team manager left earlier in the week and he got his shirt already. Yeah. Right, so can we show our appreciation for this guy? And I think we can leave the stage, please. Exit stage left and right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, events like this always run extremely smoothly, so we have a very late entry into our programme, and I think it's a very worthy entry to our programme, so I'm more than happy to accommodate this. I think we've all, those of us who've been coming to games and championships for years, have realised that the power of organ donation for transplantation it's living on into older and older years. I remember when I started first, 60 plus was the oldest age category. Then people who were 75 were saying, these people who are 60, they're too young. We need to have our own category. And now we're seeing people in their 80s who are coming to compete. And not only coming to participate, but coming to compete. I was at the field events yesterday and I was watching the over 70s in the throwing events. And at first I thought to myself, when I'm over 70, I would like to be able to throw a discus like that. And then I thought, I'm over 50 and I'd love to be able to throw a discus like that. These are very, very impressive people. So we have a wonderful gentleman here with us this week who I think we've all seen on his tricycle going around Blenheim, but also at the track in the last 2 days. And he'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the oldest competitor who we've had with us here this week. So the stage is yours, sir.
I say thanks to all you that living with me this week of very excellent and extraordinary emotion. And I would like to give a medal to the oldest man of, not man, athlete of the games, and is Michael of UK team, and I would like to give him my hand and my medal that is handmade and represent what is for me the life. A dolphin that is expression of vitality. And he saved the human people from the shark. And it's same what I am doing every day to help all the people that needs my hand. And there is my name, team with my name, Team Calcani, and my Rendasi, that is never give up. And this is the medal for a person, for Michael, that I look in this person, the symbol of the games. All of you, I would like to give to all of you one of this medal. And I give another to another athlete that I speak this afternoon. And I give him like to all of you. And I don't know the name. It's from a French team. Where is French team? This afternoon I meet him, and this was he's not happy, because he said that in his life he doesn't win a medal. I won 5 gold medals, but for me are not important. For me is most important the thanks that the people that I meet this week say to me for inspiration, for my example, and those are the important things that I bring in my heart. Come back home. But you never win a medal, but now you have.
I think it just typifies the community that we have together, the community that we've grown over these 20 plus years, and thank you, sir. Wonderful to acknowledge these wonderful people who are here. Appreciate that very much. Now, the video we saw at the start, just to acknowledge the students here at Radley who produced it and who worked very hard on it all week. And it's very easy to take video at each of the venues, but to put it all together in a wonderful kind of display like that it all flows nicely, we all get to see the different countries, make sure that no one's left out. It takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work. And it was fantastic to see that some of the students' footage was used on national TV with ITV and BBC. So we'd just like to acknowledge them And just to conclude from my side for the moment, we saw our chairman of the local organising committee saying, I now declare these games open. Paul, if you could come to the stage to declare them closed, please.
Just to reiterate what Colin has said about the video material, firstly, what you saw was a shortened version of the final video, and it will be available in a much longer version with more material online. I'd also say that it's the first time for these games that anything has been streamed live, and a number of the events were streamed live, and I hope that some of your family and friends abroad were able to see that, and I hope that becomes a feature for the future. And I would say, I think it's extraordinary what they've done. So to Max, Arthur, I forget this probably wrong, Oscar and Isaac, I'd like to thank you very much for everything you've done to improve the media spread and the video production for these games. I think they deserve a big round of applause. Notice that there's a thing being built at the bottom of the entrance gate on the way up on the grass up to these buildings, and that is a set of dodgems, a rather large set of dodgems, and they will be available to you from 8:30 this evening until about 11:15, 11:30 for you to enjoy yourselves. But you won't get on them unless you have your gold band on, because that's the only way we can tell it's you and not the general public trying to get in. So please don't lose your yellow band, and also I should say gold really, it is gold, it looks a bit yellow. The gold band is the only way you'll get into the gala dinner. And just to explain how the gala dinner is going to work, so the dining hall you're in, instead of the entrance that you go in normally, you're going to come in the exit tonight. And so those teams that are in the gala, in the main hall, if they enter via the exit, and there will be people there to check your bands. If you've lost your gold band, we will ask you to wait until we're certain that we've got enough seats for you. In those teams that are in the Georgian mansion should not feel cheated at all, because it's 1730, that building. It's stunning. It has doors that open out onto the lawns, and it's really very nice. I've been up there, and I might even come up there and join you rather than staying down in the big room. And there isn't a ceremony like this, so you won't miss anything at all. So in that case, you can go through the front doors of the mansion, or you can go around the corridor to get to it. But again, there'll be two people to check that you've got your bands on. So please do wear your bands at all times this evening. And I hope you have a great time. We've tried to create the atmosphere of an Oxford University ball. And at the end of the student year, every college has a ball, and the ball, it consists of a meal, but also entertainment. So there's a paper casino, there's a band playing. Paper casino is near where the band will be playing in the coffee shop. There's a band playing 2 sets from 9 till 10, and then about 10:30 till 11:30. So you should have plenty of entertainment and cheer by the end of that. And a final note, I know you've all pre-ordered alcohol, but the college have generously donated some additional alcohol to top this up. So an unusual situation where the college here would like to thank you for coming here. So I'd like another round of applause for the college to recognize. Slightly alcoholic note, and I hope they can all stand up by the end of the evening and we don't have to have medical attention, because it's going to be me tonight doing the medical attention thing. Then I would like to officially say the European Transplant Dialysis, 11th European Transplant Dialysis Games in Oxford are now officially closed.
When you're chairman of a local organising committee, you dream of that moment when you get to say that statement, when you get to say, finally, I can relax and enjoy the evening. But I'm going to hold on to Paul here just for a moment longer. Lynn and Dave, if you could please come to the stage. So,
Colin touched on it when he first started and said what this week has meant for us all, how we've all felt. And to be honest, I don't think thank you is enough. And there has been an incredible amount of work that has gone into preparing this game from everyone. But one man in particular, the chair of these games, I know has put in endless work, long hours, not much sleep, but he does it all and he just shrugs his shoulders. And I think, we really do owe it to him. From all of us here, please can we be upstanding and present this award to your chair of the 2022 Games, Dr. Paul Harden.
Okay, so this is a big thing. So Paul has pulled out all sorts of tricks over the last year or two, and also this is on behalf of all his super volunteers who he has brought in from the States and from Scotland, from all over the country. And I don't want to start naming more because I might forget, but people like James and Susan and Judy and and Alex and Michelle, and who else? There's more. Anyway, these are all the people who've been taking your tickets off. They've been sorting out the transport. Yes, David, we've already had him up here. And all these volunteers, I mean, we're all volunteers. There, so Paul. So we thought this would sort of symbolises what he's all about. Hey, this is wrapped up well. Thanks, Michelle. Right. Yes. Back. There. He's a master of ceremony. Paul, especially Paul, he always manages to pull the rabbit out of the hat.
I think a mark of the man, obviously, as yourselves have been moving around the games and talking to some of the volunteers, and how did you get involved? Oh, Paul was the best man at my wedding, or I met Paul here, I met Paul there. What a measure of the man that all of these people are willing to step forward. Like, clearly a man with a heart of gold, and we thank him. Now, as we declare these championships, let me get it right, as we declare these championships closed, we look to the future. And what does the future bring? What's barely over the horizon? It's a trip a long way away to a very wonderful land. And we've been very fortunate this week to be joined by representatives of the World Transplant Games Federation, who see the value of our championships to take the opportunity to record videos of all the participants, to really get behind the story of the medals, behind the story of the results. Why are these people here? What is their story? So as it can go on to inspire other people to engage with the games. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage a very good friend and colleague, President of the World Transplant Games Federation, Chris Thomas.
We will rock you. Come on, sing it. We will rock you. Can't hear you. We will rock you. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'm the president of the World Transplant Games Federation, and I'm the luckiest man in the world. I get to come along here and see all of these wonderful, wonderful, inspiring people. And I can't thank Judith enough. She invited me to Finland back in 2016, and then to Cagliari in 18. And so the Federation of World Transplant Games Federation has really embraced, the partnership with the European Championships, and that's been just so important to live our mantra of more transplant recipients, more active, more often. And that means more opportunity. So we've now got some really successful games down in Latin America, and we're trying to make sure that we're giving all transplant recipients the opportunity to be active around their transplant and be as healthy as possible. There's been so many thank yous tonight. I don't know what else to say to Paul Harden, to the work that everyone has done. I would like to acknowledge the donor families and the living donors that are here tonight. I had a good chat with Jim and Linda from the Donor Family Network. If they're in the audience, or how about just a round of applause for living donor families, really important to acknowledge their wonderful contribution. And of course, now we've got, I promise not to sing next year, next year we've got the World Transplant Games in Perth. Yes, it will be a long way away. It's just a short trip to Dubai and then just another hop over and you're actually in Perth. So don't think of it like as a long trip. It's actually just 2 stops, 1 stop maybe. So we're really looking forward to having everybody there. I would like to acknowledge the World Transplant Games Federation board trustees that are here. We have Colin, who is our treasurer. We have Liz Chick, who is our honorary secretary. Please, Liz, if you would mind standing. We have Gerardo Rana from Spain. Paul Harden, who you've heard so much about tonight. Thank you for all your work. Judith Parente, who is also one of our world trustees. And we also have from Germany, Gudrun Manuel Samor. Where are you, Gudrun? Please stand. Now, instead of me trying to sing again, we're actually going to give out a few freebies, and then we're going to watch a very short video. I'm hoping that the video will be okay to play. So, Gerardo, if you wouldn't mind, there's going to be no order to this. In fact, if you wouldn't mind bringing them on stage. This is the world's happiest mammal. It's actually a marsupial, and that means a marsupial has a pouch, and inside is where the small joey lives. Australia is very fortunate to have the weirdest and most exotic animals in the world, and this is actually called a quokka, and it lives both in the very south parts of Western Australia and also on an island called Rock's Nest Island, which is 19 kilometres away from Perth. It was originally it was referred to as Rat's Nest because they thought these were rats, and they actually found out they were a very cuddly, cute marsupial, and they love having selfies. So these are called quokkas, and when you come to Perth, you'll be able to go out to Rock Nest Island. In fact, one of the swimmers you'll see in this video actually swims to Rock Nest Island in a swim every year, 19 kilometres, and then if you're very keen, you get to swim back. So, I don't know who these are going to because I can't see you at all, but here we go. anyone writing this, please do not do that. This is actually a koala too, so another cute little marsupial. We also have some World Federation hats, which will, Gerardo will help me throw out into the audience. So if we could now please, I think the Perth video will see you all, I hope, in Perth, Australia in April 15 to 21, 2023. It's going to be a wonderful Games in the most magical location. We learnt a lot from the Newcastle Games. We're going to make sure that all of the sports are superbly run. It'll be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for everyone here to visit a part of Australia and a part of the world you'll probably never get an opportunity to visit again. So please, if we can have our video, and we'll wish you all a great night, and I hope to see you at the gala dinner. Thank you.
We know the effort in every step, the gratitude in every breath, the hope in each new day. We have endured the toughest of challenges. We have faced the end. But from the selfless act of another, we have been given the greatest gift of all. A new beginning. Now, more than ever, we will treasure the time when the world unites again. In the spirit of friendship and in competition, to celebrate the gift of life. And we know just the place. A place with pristine oceans, endless blue skies, warm hospitality, friendly wildlife, and natural beauty. In a land of ancient culture, fringed by white sandy beaches. Discover the city of Perth, where your adventure awaits. Join us in Perth, Western Australia, at the 2023 World Transplant Games. Live for the good times and create memories that will last a lifetime. See you in Perth, 2023.
Where do I sign up? www.worldtransplantgames.org. Am I correct, sir? Excellent. I've seen some people have actually registered during this week, which is fantastic, but wow, is your heart racing? How exciting is it going to be to meet up in Australia next year? Only some few months away, so great times ahead. Speaking of great times ahead, it is now time to eat, and it is time to celebrate, and it's time to make sure that we exchange phone numbers or become Facebook friends or follow each other on Instagram or whatever may tickle your fancy. But I wish you all a very wonderful evening, and I want to thank you for inspiring everybody who has helped deliver this event, but inspiring all the transplant recipients out there, the people who are newly diagnosed with organ failure, that you are opening their eyes to what the future can be. So thank you very much and enjoy your evening. Good night.